Father Manning's here we go. We're all part of Jimmy's army, and we're going into battle with St. Pat's. Now we know it will be tough, but we'll win the Conley Cup, and we'll keep it here for years in Monadol. Well, it started weeks ago when we defeated Old Kilo. On the cup that day we firmly set our sail.
Club members and friends, 1996 has been a very successful year for Father Manning Gaels Football Club. The parish of Drumlish-Balnamuck has a long and proud tradition in Gaelic football, winning many senior titles, as well as titles in other grades, such as junior, intermediate and under-21. However, many of those victories were achieved in an era before the video camera. Therefore, as PRO of the club, I am proud to be associated with the production of this video. This video includes many of the highlights of this year's championship, as well as capturing some of the atmosphere and community spirit which prevailed in the parish, leading up to, during and after that famous victory on that fine Sunday in September, when the county title returned to the parish after a period of 41 years. But before moving on to this year's victory and celebrations, let's meet for a few moments the team who last brought the county title to the parish, the winning championship team of 1955. We see them here at a function hosted by the club in their honour.
Protected me in the 50s when he was at fullback for Longford. It's hard to believe that this is or was his first Longford Senior Football County medal and last. But then it is said that Sean has a unique record in winning 4 senior football champion medals in different counties in the same year. John is now retired and lives in Mullingar. Please come forward, John. John, they make false aspirations are going to compare with. Sorry, never mind, Albert, you didn't have to vote no. Right? Brian Lenihan, Sean's brother, was a tight cornerback with a raking clearance, and let me add, took no prisoners. Pity he could not be here tonight. He sends his best wishes from Australia. Please get me forward to that. John, please do that. You're still better enough. Now, next we have right half back, Pat Crow. He was a man with tremendous work rate on and off the field. Generally played at right half back. I was very dedicated. He was a club official for a number of years and was one of the key men in the provision of the parish park at Mullingar. Pat Crow, please come forward. Centre half back, Peter McQuaid. Versatile footballer with both club and county, and played senior with Longford in the 50s. The bigger the tongue, the harder the fall was his motto. He was tough, mighty tough, but fair. No doubt he will relish discussing all past games with his colleagues here tonight. Come forward, Peter McQuaid. That halfback, Patrick Davis, played most of his football in defence. I was never from hockey. He and Frank Maher played minor football with Slashers for 1 year when Drumlish had no minor team. in Navan for many years, and returns tonight to renew many acquaintances. Michael Rogers, here to say. Charlie Soran, the ideal midfield partner for Mickey. He was a wonderful catcher of the ball and would punch it 40-50 yards. Some players today mightn't kick it that far. Cal lives in Ballydeek, where he owns the Life That's Bar, Charlie Soran. Paddy Farley won Leinster Junior Football Championship medal with Longford in 1953 while a member of the Youth Club. A great dead ball kicker. He scored the last point of the 55 final from 50. Can you stop here now? Sorry, they're close. His brother Mike won a senior medal in 1951. Come forward, Paddy Farrell. Centre half forward, Jim Rogers. Clever leader of the attack and a very deceptive two-footed player. He scored one of the goals in the 55 final. He also played in the county. His wife, Mary, sister of the Davis brothers, will accept the award. Now, left half forward, with John Davis, the team captain. Much travelled footballer who also won Leinster Junior medal in 53. He was also on the senior panel in the 50s, but somewhere along the line he managed to play with Leitrim, at which time he might have been residing in Dorchester. In his minor days, John served his time to the butchery trade in Galway and played with Galway minors to win a Connacht minor football championship medal. Didn't he do well? John, come forward, John. Reverend Father, ladies and
As the championship approached, there was a great air of optimism in the club, with a new management team in place, and Francis McNamee back with the club as player and team captain. Steady progress had been made in the early stages of the league, and if an incentive was needed for the first round, then the championship draw took care of that, putting the Gaels against county champions and near neighbours Kilo.
John Bannon gets the championship underway, and first to break and the first free of the game going to the reigning champions. That was Kilo Young Emmett. But Seamus Gallagher and Francis McNamee combining with Colin Hannafy to get the Father Manning Gaels into attack. John Toher, well, with quite a bit of space around him, grabbing that one and clearing it out for Donny McLaughlin armed for the Manning Gaels to return it up into the danger area. And though the Young Emmets did manage to get the ball downfield, it was Paul McCormick who came out, getting a hand to it, but getting injured in the process. The blow of the flags will give you an indication of the strength of the breeze, and Paul McCormick was soon to get up from that knock. The game restarted, and Petey McQuaid holding on to possession well. The referee going in, indicating that the Father Manning's man had held on just too long, and then the kick from the free going over to open the account for Everett. We take it up now as the Father Manning Gaels once again with Paddy Davis laying a nice ball inside and Colin Hannafy to John Davis, and John slapping it between the uprights. Was that the first score for the Manning Gaels that was going to lead them on a championship glory trail? As the ball was well pitched around the middle of the field, Captain Francis McNamee, he had, after a spell away from the club, had returned, and there was one thing in his mind. That one thing being championship success. So as the Father Manning Gaels came attacking once more, trying to find a way was Paddy Davis. Paddy laying it off neatly, and then McNamee driving forward, and though under pressure, sending it over, and Father Manning Gaels had hit the front. Then as David Hannafy was linking up once again, it was Paddy Davis who was coming through in from the right. Paddy, though under pressure, retained the possession, and a neat left-footed over the shoulder tackle shot saw the Manning Gaels increase their lead. Everett, they were now under some pressure as wave after wave of attack came flooding at them, but the referee then, for a rather hefty challenge, decided that it was right in time. James Breslin being the player who had gone down underneath the challenge, and for the Emerald midfielder, Michael Keogh, no longer a part of this game. Seamus Gallagher, a strong and intelligent wing half-back. Well, Seamus had taken a knock, and Paul McCormick was still showing some signs of his as a ball broke to that man Gallagher again. Loves to break from the half-back line. A nice layoff into the centre, and then as the ball dropped way in towards the goal line, Paddy Davis was on hand to take a pass, to turn, to shoot, and once again we saw the white flag wave. Yes, the men from North Longford were notching up the scores, and yet another Father Manning Gaels point. Again, it was Paddy Davis ready, and just look at that third after, right inside the far post. Yes, there was no question about it now. There was tremendous pressure on the champions. The challengers, they were setting out their stall. David Rowan's kicks were coming well out to midfield, and Donny McLaughlin, just as Seamus Gallagher was doing on the other wing, McLaughlin was a part of a great half-back line. Nevertheless, long-range kicking with great accuracy, well, that was an indication that the Conley Cup was not going to be relinquished very easily. So the Emmet Old boys, they came marauding again, but Petey McQuaid was there, and Petey winning the free out and, well, enduring a little pain. Michael Caine was at that stage introduced into the game for the injured McQuaid. And as Gallagher again goes marauding, this time through the centre, laying a nice ball inside, Colin Hannafy with the outside of the boot, and there was no mistake. It was right over the black spot. Then the half-time whistle, and, well, there was joy amongst the Father Manning Gael supporters, and, well, for the ones who were wearing green and white, well, they were just a point in arrears. At 1-6-8 at half-time, and then with James Breslin trying to get the Manning Gaels going, his shot was blocked, and the champions equalised. It was 1-6-9 and all to play for. But Father Manning Gaels, with Michael Malady, then a nice layback and long-range kicking from Tony Davis, found the ball for James Breslin in the goal area, getting a touch to it and crashing it home. That was goal number 2 in the opening championship match. A little word of congratulations went from Davis to Malady, and then it was Davis again, a real thorn in the Emmet Old side, and either front, be it right or be it left. That time it was left, and the result was the same. It was James Breslin's long-range shot that went in, and the goalkeeper taking a knock, as Michael Malady also suffering a knock, and John Bannon with some sorting out to do. The result being a free. At 2-7-9, the score stood at this stage. A scoreline of 10-7. A happy Jerry Phelan. Michael Malady looks pleased as Eamon Kerrigan came across there. Cathal O'Reilly was also in the picture. As the crowd, certainly the Father Manning Gaels crowd, leave content.
If one is to achieve success on the football pitch, there are sacrifices to be made. Sacrifices by families, wives and girlfriends of the players, as well as the lads themselves. And as a small thank you gesture, the club hosted a function in the clubhouse on Friday night prior to the semi-final, where everyone could relax, share a joke and look forward to the game on Sunday.
A day of blustery winds and bright sunshine. It was Rathclyne in the semi-final. The men in blue and green, were they going to stand in the way of Frank McNamee's Father Manning Gaels reaching the final? Well, Rathclyne attacking early. John Bannon was the referee on that occasion, and Bannon awarding the free as Rathclyne came looking for an opening score and getting that opening score. But Father Manning Gaels, they had been behind in other games. P.T. McQuaid doing his usual sound defensive job at cornerback. Francis McNamee, a tower of strength at centre half. And, well, say any of the rest of the players, anywhere you like up front, they'll give commitment and whatever else you need. David Rowland recovered from that injury, but it was Rathclyne who came attacking, and Rowland taking a ball from beneath his crossbar. And, well, when he fought in the stardom, that time, it was relative safety at the sideline. It was time for the Father Manning Gaels to do something about what Rathclyne had in mind. So, that shot was lasting over from Colin Hannafy. That would settle the nerves somewhat. The task was big. One wonders if the occasion and the thoughts of moving into a final might get big. Yes. With Michael Malady winning good possession and being brought down for the freeze, and the accuracy of David Breslin as he had been right through the championship. Well, the Manning Gaels, they were settling in. Frank McNamee was settling what was right through a very strong and forceful half-back line. Corey Grady, who had recovered from injury earlier in the year, well, he was very much a part of the attack. And the scores, well-taken scores from out the field. Though the umpire losing his flag as he waved it, and Rathclyne coming forward into attack. Paul McCormick and Gary Brady were determined that nothing should pass, be it legal or illegal, and from the free, Rathclyne put the score back. David Hannafy sporting a number 8. And Tony Davis had been switched from the corner. Michael Malidi had been switched out to the corner, and Malidi turning, shooting, and scoring a delightful point. At 4-2, the Gaels came attacking. Ball knocked round about, and then a tip to Malidi right up into the half corner. In the air as he moves back out to pick up his position. Breslin and Malidi were running at the defence. And David Breslin unerring with his safety. Here's another example. That one coming back up the upright, and a nice layoff inside. There wasn't much room to work. But James Breslin didn't need much room. And so, with a scoreline of 1-6-3 at half-time, they were really looking good for Father Manning Gaels. The bright sunshine in the eyes of the players also affecting the quality of your picture as Colin Hannafy sent Father Manning Gaels attacking. A nice layoff from Tony Davis to Michael Malidi. Malidi trying to draw the man. David Hannafy linking up. And Hannafy laying it nicely back. There again was Davis cutting through. And from the right foot shot that dropped right in towards the end line. The ball came breaking down. And guess who? It was Malidi, the number 13, who from a difficult angle picked it out. David Rowan finding the safety, and then we pick it up again as Davis again taking a pass from Colin Hannafy, and the umpire indicating that had gone inside the upright. Yes, play him in the corner, play him at fall, and poor Petey McQuaid, he is in agony. David Hannafy, he was determined that that lead would not be whittled down. Francis McNamee, equally determined as the ball was well set upfield. Father Manning Gaels had Jimmy Tully, a man of power and strength, up now to bolster their attack. Gary Brady, he was determined that fine forwards wouldn't pass. But they did manage to turn, to shoot and to score, but it was merely a total. That's what one thought. But then point followed point. And secured for the Manning Gaels lead was being whittled away. Had they lost their way was the question that Manning Gaels supporters were asked. But the umpire at that end of the ground, well, seemed to be getting rather busy. And the flow of the tide still kept going in that direction. And again, as the ball went between those uprights, it was whittled back to 110 to 8. Again, Rathbine came leading. David Bowen put the swing from the crossbar as the ball sailed out. Jerry Filan coming in. David Hannafy into Gillen. Gillen playing it up the field. Oh, there's a good interception back there now. And the Father Manning Gaels coming forward as James Breslin will lay the ball inside. That's Pádraig Davis with a left-footed kick and a wide kick. Kay out there in the middle now. And again, a stoppage as James Breslin. Up it comes, way up the field. And that was Donny McLaughlin wearing 7, but playing a cornerback. Linking up again, there he was with, now this time it's David Hannafy who lays the ball across. Pádraig Brady surrounded. Kay coming back out the field and a stoppage. Here's Queen, but well, I think that Enda Gillen might be okay. Colin Hannafy with the free, out onto the right. We await the shot and the score. Pádraig Brady wearing 11 but playing it right half forward, sending that one over. That's Manning Gaels' second point of the game. Out comes the ball broken down in the middle, and Father Manning Gaels coming out of the attack again. John Davis and John laying it across there. Michael Malidi with the shot. That's the third for Father Manning Gaels. 4, should I say. St. Patrick's getting the ball up the field towards Paul Fennan. But Paul McCormick back there challenging for it. Playing at right cornerback and wearing number 4. Now the referee is going to throw the ball up between players from either side. And it's St. Patrick's who win the ball from the throw-in the form of Eddie Farrell, who gets the free, sitting the ball way in there now, but they will be called back. Up comes the kick. Raymond Baxter now to Pádraig Keegan. And Manning Gaels intercept again, and it's John Davis. Again, Davis been confronted there by a number of players, and James Breslin nips in to send the ball to Colin Hannafy. Hannafy tackled by Raymond Baxter, gets the ball inside now to Pádraig Brady. Brady driving forward, being chased by 2. Then checked by a 3rd, but the ball eventually coming into Pádraig Davis. Davis surrounded by a number of Arda players, but Eugene Murta awards him the free. And the ball being moved in. Pádraig is back on his feet. David Breslin will take the free for Father Manning Gaels. And he taps it over. Father Manning Gaels certainly on the scoreboard, setting the pace. As again the ball broken down in the middle, and Pádraig Davis confronted in there by James Keegan. Laying it inside, and going to ground there was Pádraig Brady, but again the stoppage. Sean Kiernan querying the referee's decision, and Forrest Query being penalised distance-wise, that is, and well, should be simple enough task for David Breslin as he gets pat on the back from a teammate. Hands on hips there beside him is Michael Malidi, and directing operations is Pádraig Davis. Meanwhile, David just steps up, sends it over. The cheer will tell the story. So the players will move out across the middle, and Brian Green will prepare to take the kick out. Way out it comes. Again, it's broken down around the middle of the field, and James Breslin knocking it on. The ball being added to, and Michael Malady picking it up, and Malady with a shot, and Malady with a point. Ball touched on there in the middle, but going back is David Hannafy. Lobbing it downfield. The race is on for possession. Peter Gillan was going across trying to defend, but in any event, the shot went outside the upright from the Drumlish man, and right now, Father Manning Gaels again dominating the possession points. About halfway through the first half, as David Breslin sends a short free out. Alan Hannafy, a Gary Owen type kick that's going to drop in, and Gillan knocks it down. And now Porrick Davis picking up possession. Porrick plays it across to David Hannafy, and David Hannafy's kick is high, dropping wide. Out comes the kick. Some pushing out there. And the free going for the Manning Gaels way, as the ball is dropped high right down in there. Michael Malady picking it up, and Malady with the left foot kicks the shot straight over Brian Green's crossbar. Yet another point for Father Manning Gaels. You can see the number 10, James Breslin, in the centre directing operations. Right now, it's Arda St. Patrick's with Andy Gillan, who's trying to get upfield. He gets a free. And switching direction, trying to get it up there towards Paul Victory. And Paul going down on it. Francis McNamee dispossessing him. Two players who have played football with civil service together. Right now it's David Hannafy who sends the ball way down the field, and Brian Green advances, and Brian Green will lay it back to Paul Kelly, and Paul Kelly will send a low ball out along the flank, picked up out there by Nicholas Farrell. Nicholas Farrell confronted as he tries to work his way up, and John Davis going in. David Hannafy was going in as well, and the free going way up towards very near the sideline, but kept in play there now by Dermot Farrell, who links up there with Paul Victory, and Paul with low centre of gravity, very hard to dispossess, but this time the ball is sent down, and David Hannafy couldn't keep it in play. Eddie Farrell waits to take the sideline kick. Floats it high across in, and once again it was intercepted there. Seamus Gallagher doing the interception, and the ball being cleared way down. Oh, nicely taken by David Breslin as he lays it on, and Porrick Brady is racing away. Still Porrick Brady in possession, being chased by Sean Kiernan. There's the shot, and that one sailing over. He gets the pat of congratulations as he G's on his team. Ball will drop way up into a whole bunch of players, and certainly Seamus Gallagher not quite expecting that one. Paul McCormick coming out from cornerback, getting it out now, and James Breslin. James on the toe to hand, being chased been tackled as he gets the ball into David Hannafy. Hannafy moving forward. He's been supported in there now by David Breslin, laying the ball back to Michael Malidi. Malidi with a left-footed kick that's going to be chased after, but in vain by full forward Porrick Davis. Brian Green waits and collects to pace for the kick out.
Switches all over in the Arden team. We'll talk about them later.
Out comes the kick. Way out towards the middle, and going back is Paul Kelly to win it, and Paul getting support right now is Nicholas Farrell, who's about to lash the ball way upfield, and that one pulled on. Try kick down, bouncing off the shoulders of Michael Malidi there. It's gone over. Hasn't gone over the sideline yet. The dugout preventing our view, but it certainly went off Manning Gaels player as Sean Kiernan sends the short line ball up to Paul Fennan, and Paul then to send it right across in towards the general direction of the goal, and Seamus Gallagher is back there. Seamus to feed it out somewhat. Francis McNamee dragged to the ground by Paul Victory. There's a free out for the Manning Gaels captain, which he just sends out. James Breslin adds to it, getting the ball up the field. Added to further still as it comes way up now. Plus Jimmy Tully. Tully with the kick from out the field is going to bounce into the arms of Brian Green, the goalkeeper. Brian on the casual type of stroll, getting it out to the centre back. That's Sean Kiernan. And stoppage in play as Sean now takes the free and sends it further out the field to big Eddie Farrell. And Eddie then to send it right through up the middle. Paul Victory coming out and grabbing it, and Paul to send it away inside. The fullback Gary Brady going back, and Gary then to hand pass it out. And now for the Manning Gaels with Paul McCormick. Downfield it goes, James Breslin. James Breslin further out now to Porrick Brady. Porrick Brady confronted out there by Enda Gillen. He's more than confronted, he's brought to the ground. Okay, moving up in towards the general direction of the Ardis St. Patrick's goal, but they've got some defenders back there, and that's cleared out now. Peter Gillen getting a touch as he gets it further up the field. Francis McNamee coming down, is brought down, and there's a free. Also on picture there, John Davis. In from the start, despite the fact that he's wearing a number 19. Here comes the kick from Francis McNamee. Will drop in. And the referee awarding the free out, which Brian Green will take. Just looking ahead of him up the field to aim at something. Here he comes with the left-footed high, long delivery right out in there across the middle, and that was Colin Hannafy, the smaller by far of all the way, getting it inside Porrick Davis. Porrick Davis now with the left-footed kick that's going to hang high and over the bar for another Father Manning Gaels point. So Father Manning Gaels 10 points, St. Patrick's of Arda no score. And right now Joe Farrell trying to do something about that scoreline as he gets the ball upfield, and Seamus Gallagher intercepting there, and Seamus to Paul McCormick. McCormick near the sideline far side of the field as he will drop that ball well upfield. Hens grabbing for it, and it's the full-back in there, James Keegan, who grabs it, trying to burrow his way out. Oh, what a clearance from James Keegan right away up the field, but once again it's John Davis who's across to intercept. John tackled, John fouled, free to Father Manning Gaels. Picking out their men as Porrick Davis now goes forward. Eddie Farrell in with the challenge. Porrick laying the ball back there now to James Breslin. Breslin now with the neat hand pass inside to David Hannafy, and Hannafy from out the field sends it high, sending it wide. 10 points to 1. And St. Patrick's now moving up the field. That's Eddie Farrell. Porrick Green is in the game. Right now, that's Paul Finnan dropping the ball inside, but the referee blowing up there. Ball handled on the ground. Right on the edge of the D. Is this to be the opening score? It is. From the free, it was landed over 10-1 as David Rowan's kick comes out into the middle of the field. And here come the Ardis St. Patrick's boys again. That's Paul Victory. Paul being chased. Paul with a shot that's high. A shot that has gone wide. Perhaps there was a chance to tack on another before the half-time break, which isn't all that far away, as Nicholas Farrell and Joe Farrell combine to get the ball way up the field. Now Eddie Farrell misses it, and David Hennepy is back there, and so is Paul McCormick. And now can Father Manning Gaels switch the events to the other end? As the ball has gone out over the sideline on the far side of the field. Sean Kiernan anxious to get on with it, and Sean with the line ball up along the line. Ball swinging way inside. Frank McNamee to James Breslin. Ball laid back, and Francis once again, a good two-footed pair who also uses his head pretty well. And the ball away up now to Jimmy Tully. Jimmy Tully from out the field, sending it high. And Jimmy Tully has scored number 11 for Father Manning Gaels. Now to do up the bootless. Half-time in Pearse Park in Longford, and a half-time score of Father Manning Gaels 11, St. Patrick's of Arda 1 point. The teams making their way towards the dressing room, and we pick up a shot of the flags indicating the strength of the breeze, and pick up a shot of the crowd in mid-September or thereabouts. Well, it will be mid-September in a week's time. Glorious sunshine. Arda for the tiny towns and Gaels for the cup. As the Longford pipe band play to entertain the crowd. Now the Father Manning Gaels team back out onto the field. And the second half getting underway. And Father Manning Gaels intent on carrying on where they left off as Colin Hannafy sent it to Francis McNamee. McNamee up along the wing. And that's Jimmy Tully. And Jimmy Tully with the distance in his pass inside. But going back there is James Keegan. Trying to knock it on, but can't get on to it. And Porrick Green. Green with a shot. And Green with a point. And Seamus now stock still as he views up the target. Coming up to kick it left-footed. And to kick it over for an Ardis St. Patrick point. Ball dropping out. Raymond Baxter tried to touch it on. It's Father Manning Gaels' David Hannafy who lays it off in there now to Porrick Grady. Porrick Grady driving forward. Porrick Grady on the ground, laid it back to James Breslin. Out there to Colin Hannafy. Colin Hannafy laid it across there now. And that's Michael Malady. Michael Malady, a very classy, dashy forward, moving forward. Will have to retreat and send it back. And Jimmy Tully will send it in, and Jimmy Tully will send it over. Adding to the Father Manning Gaels scoreline. Callan Hannafy to jab the ball out there to Michael Malidi. Malidi now to work his way, being chased all the way there by Sean Kieran. A stoppage in play right out there in front of the stand on the far side. Advantage going for the Manning Gaels way. As the ball is sent up, and Father Manning Gaels showing well now with Jimmy Tully. Jimmy Tully being chased back there by Nicholas Farrell. Jimmy Tully will lay the ball back now to James Breslin. James Breslin releasing it to Porrick Davis. Put in there from James Keegan. Referee will move the ball forward. That's simplicity itself from an artist. Way out the field it comes. Father Manning Gaels having to do some defending right now as Paul Finnan races onto that. Paul dashing through, and Paul taking the free quickly, but perhaps too quickly, as the referee has decided that he's going to do a little bit of noting. Paul Finnan with the shot, and Paul Finnan with the point. It breaks to Seamus Short, who gets it inside to Paul Finnan. Finnan on the ground. Eugene Murta going in again quite an amount of times. He penalised players for not moving fast enough away. The kick was blasted from the hand and sent over field, and now it's Michael Malidi inside there to James Breslin. Breslin holding the ball, looking for an option. He gets that option, and Captain Frank McNamee, and Francis McNamee with a kick that's high and a kick that's good. Paul Finnan has been the free taker in chief with a certain amount of success. That one coming back up the post, picked up and sent over. And all this play now with St. Patrick's moving the ball downfield. Oh, there's a good interception there by Gary Brady. Gets it out now for Donny McLaughlin. McLaughlin will lay it off, and back there helping his defence now is Porrick Davis, covering a lot of ground. So players from either side being attended to. 14 points to 6. That was just a recap on your scoreline as it comes out now. Ball floating high and way down the field. Paul Victory. And Paul Victory being supported by Paul Finnan, but referee whistling up the Father Manning's players for ball has gone over the bar. I should have told you that due to injury, Pete McQuaid was not able to start this game. But his Drumlish colleagues doing him proud, playing their hearts out for him. Another man who has the club at heart is Jerry Whelan. I thought it best give him a mention as well. Going to restart the game by throwing the ball in. Frank McNamee and Eddie Farrell, the two big men who challenged for it, is knocked down. And, well, James Breslin was knocked down as well. Father Manning Gaels taking the kick, sending it upfield. James going down again. Raymond Baxter being spoken to. I think John Davis maybe gone off the Father Manning Gaels team with Pete McQuaid in. We'll just check that in a few moments.
Substitution on the Father Manning Gaels team. Number 2, Pete McQuaid.
Yes, Pete McQuaid has come in. Now, what's happening down there on the sideline, we could well do without. Right now, it's St. Patrick's of Arda who getting the ball down the field, but there's a tackle that's going to bring another stoppage. Gary Brady. Paul Victory just checking. Paul certainly not a malicious type of player.
think today there was 15 heroes on the field, and I don't know how they can pick a man of the match, but I'm glad to get this award. I think every fella really deserves the man of the match. But to put in such an effort amount of and the fight hard, we're waiting a long time to get this, and now we've got it. And it's a great privilege for me to be man of the match today. And it's not a lot I can say except we're going to have one hell of a week.
Where once again safety in the hands of one Francis McNamee, and that's what the supporters of Father Manning Gaels have waited 41 years for. Getting the chance, subs and all, the entire panel, the chance to hoist that trophy. As he hoisted it from John Davis, John who participated in quite an amount of this final. So it's out now for the handshakes and the back slapping, and let me tell you that these players will endure an awful lot more punishment for the few minutes that it'll take them to get to the dressing rooms than they did on the field for over an hour. It's a short distance, but when you're surrounded by delighted supporters, it can take some time. The smile on Francis McNamee's face, well, that says it all. So I'll take my leave of you now from Pearse Park in Longford. I'll say Slán agus Bannock Golair.
They were very cooperative throughout the year. Some of them had to travel long distances, but it was very well worth it in the end. I didn't win a championship medal myself, but it means as much to me today as if I had won one.
It's tough. We're faster, we're fitter, we're hungrier. Took our scores well. We opened them up. There's not a lot to say. We're the better team on the day, and I guess we deserved our victory. Hopefully we'll be back again. We had a few injuries. Pete was out. You know, he's unlucky not to be playing. John Davis brought in, had a great game. Backs are very solid. And now they just weren't getting it together in the forward line. And the back line was poor enough. So it's a good day for Drumlish, good day for Ballymuck.
Delighted with the performance. Our first half performance, we done no damage to them, put them away.
From a half from hard man myself, so Corny Kelly, but it was. I knew the whole North Longford was for us. Like, there was flags all over the place, and I was delighted to see coming out of Drumlish today. Good luck to Drumlish from Drumard, and you know, like it gives you a bit of buzz as well. Like, and you know, we're all neighbours down that country. And
well, great Paul. Anyway, it's great to have a young lad that comes in so innocently and with no big head. I wish you the best of luck. How would you sum it up?
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. To see the support we have. I'm just delighted for the supporters, because I think they're more nervous now. So I think we slept last night, but half of them didn't. So I'm absolutely delighted for them. Every single one of them. Really behind us. They're part of the team. So no.
Looking at it in your perspective, your brother has got man of the match as well, which is great for a family, a mother and father, and to be watching on there. I'm sure Councillor Jerry will be a proud man somewhere in Drumlish tonight.
Oh, he'll be very proud now, as right. And Saddam, as he's better known, he had a very good game now in the first half and played well in the second half, and he did deserve man of the match. And he had the flu for the last couple of days, and he wasn't feeling that great, but I think he was only caught, and he could have been resting you for the last couple of days.
He mentioned something about having a few drinks. Would that be in his mind for the next couple of days?
Well,
or was he just saying something that wasn't going to happen?
Well, the first 6 will be sociable, and then we'll dive into it after that.
Frank McNamee's speech, as I recall, he was the first man it was mentioned in his speech. I'm sure you've given a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work to this club over the last number of years.
Sure, it's the only thing I got. I love the old club, and I don't smoke and don't drink, and the old football is my life, and that's the way it is. And I always want them to win a Connolly Cup and become the champions, and I'm delighted for that.
Well, there's lots of people who doesn't drink or smoke, but I don't think they'll send the same dedication as you have. You're renowned in the club as for sponsorship and for doing a lot of work for charity as well. But I'd say this day in your memory it'll be in it for a long, long time.
It will indeed. It's the best day of my life at the minute, and I'm just having sunk in you, I suppose. But I'm glad for everybody concerned. Like Jimmy gave a great boost, and I'm glad for the whole lot.
You're not that far away from the Dramard border. You never thought of crossing the lines, and this Dramard club was coming up as well. your father, Joe Pat, and Carmel is your mother. I'm sure they're very proud of your performance and proud of a son that can play football the way you played.
You go down to the bottom of the field, you're in Dramard. I land in Dramard, lots of us. I'm that close.
I'm sure going back towards Spanlamuck, you're probably the representative along with Glenn McKenna. It'll be great to down to 98 on that. Saying that you're a medal winner, and that it's great you must be great feeling going back to Shannon.
We won't wait until Christmas in Ballinamuk. 98 Dillons, I'm telling you, it'll be great.
Well, it wasn't an easy summer. There's a lot of travelling involved, but it's worth it all in the end when it ends up like this. I do it all again in the
Going back into Drumlish in a few minutes' time, I'm sure the feelings and the adrenaline will begin to roll, and I'm sure it'll be something you'd have dreamt for, but maybe thought might never happen.
Yeah. It's funny, I always believed it would happen, and I was never going to give up until it did happen. But I think when I go back into Drumlish now and see the crowds of people out, I think it'll really mean a lot.
Gaels are in the final. How's it going there, everybody from Hadowley, Cloncolly, from Rannoch to McCarr? Here we are on county final day. It's a long, long time, but we're surely there. Corrigan's men are looking class, Reardon to kick some harder ass. Keelan and Hannafy are smart. That team looks like a bloody work of art. It's harder for the tidy town, but it's Father Manny Gaels for the Connolly crown. Oh, we're in the final. Father Manning Gaels are in the final. Young David Rowan is in the goals and he's kicking it out as far as it goes. There the forward line's asleep, or maybe they're just plain scared of heat. Gary is sticking to his task, knowing he has victory in his grasp. Paul is nimble, Paul is quick, Paul has had his sweet big. Oh, we're in the final. Father Manning Gaels are in the final. Seamus Gallagher is fit, don't matter how the mard is fit. Captain Mac is super Mac, we're all so glad that he came back. Tony is a sight before taking balls from under Arda's nose. He packed his down upon his knees saying, oh, don't do it to me, please. Oh, we're in the final. Father Manning Gaels are in the final. David's reaching for the sky, he knows it must be do or die. Colin's roaming up and down, he's left your man there stuck to the ground. James is out there singing to himself about some old farmer shoveling shite. But it all goes right, and I think it might. We'll be hearing more of that tonight. Oh, we're in the final. Father Manning Gaels are in the final. final. Me house just come off the table, stitched and patched and well enabled. John Davis finally at large. He had to wait a while but he got a green card. Cahill is in and Cahill is out, but Cahill is in line for the final shout. Are they coming or are they not? Are they in for a hell of a shock? Oh, we're in the final. Father Manning Gaels are in the final. Or his cows are free of BSC, and more than likely so is he. I wouldn't be too sure about that referee, but we all know he's from Ballinlee. Jimmy's just flew in for the game, a bit round off but looking much the same. The hard-backs are dynamite, but Paul scores another pint. Oh, we're in the final. Father Manning Gaels are in the final. Really at the races, throwing shapes and making spaces. Whelan now is in the fray. Jamesy better just get out of the way. Davy gets another score. From the stand comes a mighty roar. The whistle sounds, the game is o'er. Don't mention Arda anymore. Oh, we're in the final. Father Manning Gaels are in the final. We've won the final. Father Manning Gaels have won the final. Oh, we won the final. Father Manning Gaels have won the final. Oh, we won the final.
The visit of the winning captain and team members was a great occasion for the pupils in St Mary's National School Drumlish and St Patrick's National School Ballinamuk, where they got a great reception from pupils and teachers.
I close my eyes.
From a hero of the present to a hero of the future, the senior championship winning captain Frank McNamee and the under-12 championship winning captain Sean Diffley.
I see one of the faces looking at the man that he turned out to be.
Here we meet a senior team of the future, the under-12 championship winning side.
All the fences I had crossed are broken down, and I've learned many things, some of them best forgotten, since the last time that I stood upon that ground. Oh, the old schoolyard is wild and overgrown.
When I look back on 1986, I think how fortunate I've been to be secretary of the club. And I want to thank those people who encouraged me and badgered me into stay on for another year. Little did I know at the time that it was going to turn out to be such an historic year in the history of our club. And I wish the club the best of luck in '97 and for many years to come.
As treasurer of Father Manning Gaels, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all our sponsors, to all the people who made generous donations to the Players Training Fund, to all who supported our fundraising and helped in any way during the year. Without your help, what you have watched would not be possible. You have certainly made my job as treasurer a lot easier. And I hope the success the club had in '96 you will find rewarding. The best of luck to you all in 1997. Thank you very much.
A Hardy Gael, our son Gael and Tahra Manning, Tommy Anwych of Henshachen, Hooper Popular Olive. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Father Manning Gaels Club, I as chairman am very proud to compliment our senior team and our team management of Tommy Keenan, Pat Corrigan and Jimmy Hannafy on bringing the Sean Connolly Cup back to our parish after 41 years. It was a great occasion, one which we'll never forget around the nation Ballinamuk. I would also like to compliment all 12 members of our executive club for the hard work they've done throughout the year, and also our ladies committee for looking after us all so well. I would also like to thank all our friends, both home and abroad, for their support, both financial and otherwise, and I look forward to their support to the years to come. Go raibh míle maith go léir agus slán libh.
On the 8th of September, the year 96, the tension was high, the nerves made us sick, as we sat in the stand with flags in our hands and listened to the music from the Longford Pipe Band. At 4 on the dot, Father Mannings came out, and all the supporters started to shout. The ref blew his whistle when the anthem was o'er. Come on the Gaels, you could hear the crowd roar. The half-time score was 11-1. Many people thought that the Gaels had it won. They weren't too far wrong, as St. Pat's were in tears when the Gaels brought the cup back after 41 years. Celebrations were great in Drumlish on that night, and strangely there wasn't an Ardee man in sight. The Gaels have the cup and nothing else matters, even if Ardee's dreams are in shatters. But all was not lost for Ardee that day, as the Tidy Town title was going their way. But they can keep all their trees, their shrubs and their flowers, for this year the Connolly Cup, it is ours.